Namaste, Hamesha Kushro Bitia. I am JVN Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University. Today we will discuss the nasal polyp part 2. In earlier we have discussed the bilateral caudal polyp. Now I will discuss the antroconal polyp. So, what is antroconal polyp? It is also known as the Killian's polyp. This polyp arises from the mucosa of maxillary antrum near its accessory ostium, comes out of it, and grows in the choana and nasal cavity. Thus, it has three parts: antral, choanal, and nasal part. The antral part, which is a thin stalk, the choanal, which is round and globular, nasal, which is flat from side to side. What is the etiology of antroconal polyp? The exact cause is unknown. Nasal allergy coupled with the sinus infection is incriminated. Adrenocorneal polyp are seen in children and young adults. Usually they are single and unilateral. What are the symptoms of antroconal polyp? Unilateral nasal obstruction is the presenting symptom. Obstruction may become bilateral when polyp grows into the nasopharynx and starts obstructing the opposite choana. Voice may become thick and dull due to hyponasality. Nasal discharge, mostly mucoid, may be seen on one or both sides. Here are the common causes of the unilateral nasal obstruction and the common causes of the bilateral nasal obstruction. Okay. The science of antroconal polyp. As the antroconal polyp grows posteriorly, it may be missed on anterior rhinoscopy. When large, a smooth grayish mass covered with nasal discharge may be seen. It is soft and can be moved up and down with a probe. A large polyp may protrude from the nostril and show a pink congested look on its exposed part. Then common causes of unilateral nasal obstruction are in vestibule there may be a furuncle, vestibulitis, stenosis of nares, atresia, nasoalveolar cyst, papilloma, squamous cell carcinoma. In nasal cavity, there may be a foreign body or deviated nasal septum, hypertrophic turbinates, concha bullosa, antroconal polyp, synecdoche, rhinolith, bleeding polypus of septum, benign and malignant tumors of nose and paranasal sinuses, sinusitis unilateral. In nasopharynx, they can be unilateral choanal atresia. What are the common causes of bilateral nasal obstruction? In vestibule, there may be bilateral vestibulitis, collapsing nasal alae, stenosis of nares, congenital atresia of nares. In nasal cavity, there may be acute rhinitis, which may be viral and bacterial. There can be chronic rhinitis and sinusitis. There may be rhinitis medicamentosa, allergic rhinitis, or hypertrophic turbinates, or DNS, or nasal polyp, or atrophic rhinitis, or rhinitis sicca, or septal hematoma, or septal abscess, or bilateral choanal atresia. In nasopharynx, there may be adenoid hyperplasia, large choanal polyp, Thornwell cyst, adhesions between soft palate and posterior pharyngeal wall, large benign and malignant tumors. Here is an image of an antroconal polyp projecting through the left nostril in a 14-year-old patient. Here is an image of the antroconal polyp seen hanging in the oropharynx from behind the soft palate on the right side of the uvula. And on the right side, there is an image of polyp after removal. The posterior rhinoscopy may reveal a globular mass filling the choana or the nasopharynx. A large polyp may hang down behind the soft palate and present in the oropharynx. Examination of the nose with an endoscope may reveal a choanal or antrochoanal polyp hidden posteriorly in the nasal cavity. Then differential diagnosis. A blob of mucus often looks like a polypus, but it would disappear on blowing the nose. A hypertrophied middle turbinate is differentiated by its pink appearance and hard feel of bone on probe testing. Angiofibroma has history of profuse recurrent epistaxis. It is firm in consistency as easily bleeds on probing. Other neoplasms may be differentiated by their fleshy pink appearance, fragile nature, and their tendency to bleed. Here is an image of the endoscopic view of a choanal polyp or right side. Then the differences between the antrochoanal and ethmoidal polyp. The antrochoanal polyp is common in children, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is common in adults. Antrochoanal polyp is caused by infection, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is caused by allergy or maybe multifactorial. Antrochoanal polyp is solitary, whereas the ethmoidal polyp is multiple. Antrochoanal polyp is unilateral, whereas ethmoidal polyp is bilateral. The origin of ethmoidal polyp is a maxillary sinus near the ostium, whereas the origin of ethmoidal polyp is ethmoidal sinuses, uncinate process, middle turbinate, and middle meatus. The growth of the antrochoanal polyp grows backwards to the choana, may hang down behind the soft palate. The ethmoidal polyp mostly grow anteriorly and may present at the nares. The antrochoanal polyp is trilobed with antral, nasal, and choanal parts, and the choanal part may protrude through the choana and fill the nasopharynx, obstructing both sides. The ethmoidal polyp is usually small and grape-like masses. The antrochoanal polyp recurrence is very uncommon if removed completely, whereas in case of ethmoidal polyp, the recurrence is common. And the antrochoanal polyp, the treatment is polypectomy, endoscopic removal, or Calver-Luke operation if recurrent. The treatment of ethmoidal polyp is polypectomy, endoscopic surgery, or ethmoidectomy, which may be intranasal, extranasal, or transnasal. The X-rays of paranasal sinuses may show opacity of the involved antrum. X-ray lateral view soft tissue nasopharynx reveals a globular swelling in the postnasal space. It is differentiated from the angiofibroma by the presence of a column of air behind the polyp. Then the treatment antrochoanal polyp is easily removed by avulsion, either through the nasal or oral route. Recurrence is uncommon after complete removal in cases which do occur. Calvalic operation may be required to remove the polyp completely from the site of its origin and to deal with coexistent maxillary sinusitis. These days, endoscopic sinus surgery has superseded other modes of polyp removal. Calvalic operation is avoided. Some important points to remember in a case of nasal polyp is if a polypus is red and fleshy, fragile, and has a granular surface, especially in older patients, think of malignancy. Simple nasal polyp may masquerade a malignancy underneath. Hence, all polyps should be subjected to histology. A simple polyp in a child may be a glioma or an encephalocele or meningoencephalocele. It should always be aspirated and fluid examined for CSF. Careless removal of such polyp will result in CSF rhinorrhea or meningitis. Multiple nasal polyp in children may be associated with mucoviscidosis. Epistaxis and orbital symptoms associated with a polyp should always arouse the suspicion of malignancy. So here completes our session of nasal polyp. Thank you so much. This session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comments box. I will resolve it. Thank you so much.